Good morning. Saturday morning here. Beautiful day outside. I'm kind of encouraged, in a convoluted way. We got a bombshell dropped on us on America. Was it Friday or Thursday or Friday when Mueller announced the grand jury has come back with an indictment and there's going to be some arrest Monday. First of all, what I want to say about a grand jury, especially a federal grand jury, you've heard the old saying they could indict a ham sandwich. So that's just a rubber stamp for whoever filed, whoever filed the indictment with the grand jury. So that would be Mueller. And the grand jury is just going to go along with whatever Mueller says. So, who's this Mueller guy? Well, Mueller is basically a dirty cop, all right? He was the FBI, and this is the part that really gets to me. He was the head of the FBI when this special agent had infiltrated the Russian government in basically the uranium-1 people in Russia. Before uranium was called Rosatom, and there's actually some shell companies that are involved in there also. So Mueller knows everything this guy has. Everything. And Comey did too, for that matter. And we keep hearing, and it looks like this guy's got a lot of stuff. This FBI informant, the FBI agent, has a lot of stuff. His attorney is talking about videos and emails and firsthand knowledge of this collusion between the Russians, Putin and the Russians, and Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State at the time, and Obama, who was the President of the United States at the time. So, but all this time, when this was taking place, Mueller was the head of the FBI. Comey was in there. McCabe was in there. So, I don't know if anybody's thought about that, but it is beyond the pale that they all knew about this. And, the DOJ knew about it. Loretta Lynch knew about it. She's the one that put the kibosh upon this FBI agent coming out and testifying before Congress. Okay? So this gets pretty interesting. And yet Mueller, who's supposedly investigating Trump's relationship to the Russians, his collusion with the Russians prior to his being elected President of the United States, because Russia somehow infiltrated our election. So ask yourself, who do you think Mueller's going to have arrested? Well, it won't be Trump initially, okay? And this is my take on things. This is my take. But I thought, I've been thinking about this for several days now, ever since I heard that they have an arrest warrant, an indictment, an arrest warrant in this Russian collusion BS. So I'm gonna venture to say it's his son or his son-in-law who met with the this total fabricated meeting that was a whole lot about nothing, but who met with the Russian lawyer, okay? So that's where I believe they're going. I really do. And I'll tell, and here's why. Here's why. This thing's breaking every day. Okay, Congress has finally said, listen, we're going to listen to this FBI agent, and we're going to find out what he's got, which is going to be a whole lot. We now know that. And you're going to have all those people like Rosenstein, and there's White House, and there's Mueller, Comey, McCabe, all of those players are going to be put on display. They're going to be exposed for what they have done. So there's no way they're going to go after Hillary Clinton. There's no way they're going to go after Obama, because that's the same as going after themselves. It's not going to happen. Not unless they come up with some hell of a convoluted conspiracy. And there's no way. There's just no way. It's not going to happen. So, when they do that, when they go after Trump's family, we are officially going to be, we're already in civil war. I think that's just going to be ratcheting it up a little bit more. Here's why I'm kind of excited about that. This is a silver lining to this whole thing. What Hillary Clinton and her partners, her co-conspirators, which I just mentioned, what they did was absolute total treason. All right? Uranium is essential for the manufacture of yellow cake plutonium, which is essential for creating nuclear bombs. And there's some very real possibilities. Well, we know it went to the Russians, okay? They're not supposed to be our friends, especially according to the United States military. Aha. That's where I'm going with this. Okay? But it also probably went to China, or probably it could have gone to China, North Korea, Iran. So this collusion with Hillary and all her co-conspirators was treason on the highest level, because it jeopardized our entire nation to nuclear war by our enemies. You think this is lost on the military? And here's what's interesting about that. I believe when you have this level of treason, not only is it legal, it is now legal for the U.S. military to get involved, but I also believe it is moral. Yes, I believe it is now moral. And also I believe that they will do it just out of, they understand that their lives have been placed in jeopardy. All of our military, wherever they are, have been placed in tremendous jeopardy. You can make those little suitcase bombs and go in and blow up a whole air base. So this has gotten real interesting, real fast. And I think this is my take on things, but I believe what you're going to see, and I could be wrong, but I believe what you're going to see is Mueller's going to come out. He's going to arrest some of Trump's family. All right. At that point, Trump is going to play his hand, which, as you all have seen, he has surrounded himself by a lot of military generals. And I believe at that time, then you will see mass arrest against these embeds, which would just be absolutely peachy. I would love to see it. And then, then they can be taken. And here's the other thing. They're going to have a military tribunal. A military tribunal. And military tribunals have very little empathy or sympathy for spies or treasonous type people. You can go to YouTube and watch some of the spies that are captured during World War II. It's like, they're convicted in military tribunal. Next morning at crack of dawn, they're all executed by firing squad. That's how military tribunals work in this case. So, yeah, that would be awesome. That would be so awesome. I can see Hillary Clinton, her husband Bill Clinton. I mean, there's a whole list of them, of course. Valerie Jarrett, Mueller, McCabe, Rosenstein, Winehouse. I'm just getting excited thinking about this. I hope they video it, but I hope they're taken out now. I guess they have the option of being hung by the neck. but you know, option hanging, not hung by the neck, because that's a little bit different. So choked to death in one type of hang. That's how they do it in the Middle East. You know, ISIS does it, and that's how Sharia law is, where you're slowly lifted up until you're choked to death. Whereas, you know, the more humane way is you're dropped 10 feet and your neck is snapped. Sometimes the head comes off too. We saw that with Saddam Hussein. But anyhow, that's poor engineering. So we should have some good engineering on this thing. So now I'm getting a little bit morbid, and I apologize for that, but I get really disgusted with these people. I am amazed at what is going on right now in this government. Mueller, that loser, you know, I believe he's gonna be executed. Now let's talk about Jeff Sessions a little bit. Jeff Sessions has been in the middle of the road of this whole thing. And obviously Jeff Sessions knew what was going on a long time ago. He has been compromised. He may have been compromised in this way, that he always knew what was going on and did nothing about it. And when I say what was going on, I'm talking about Hillary Clinton and the uranium deals. But there's other ways Jeff Sessions could have been compromised. I can't believe that somebody like Jeff Sessions, in his current position and his previous positions, did not know that this stuff was going on. Also, the pedophiles, the pedophile gate, Pizzagate. Nobody can tell me he did not know what was going on. So somewhere in there, he's gotten compromised. And he is deathly afraid of taking a real stand. Now, it'll be interesting what comes out on that, how he was compromised. But he came into Las Vegas and he heaped a lot of praise upon Gloria Navarro and Steve Myrie. You know, Judge Gloria Navarro, prosecuting attorney Steve Myrie, and then they got their asses beat. Oh, you're misplaced praise. You know, that made you, Jeff Sessions, that made you look just as bad as anybody else in these trials. You praised them on the good work they were doing, and they got their asses beat. Okay? So what does that say about Jeff Sessions? What does that say about where he's at politically and in terms of, you know, his oath? He's out. You know, you've heard those things out in left field, you know, down by the lower 40. The guy is completely compromised. And now that's getting a little bit off subject here, but hey, that seems to be the order of the day. Look at our sheriff, Sheriff Lombardo. Man, is there any doubt this man is completely compromised? Is there any doubt the FBI was involved in these shootings? And there's so much that's been coming up. I hear more stuff all the time. I'm going to say now that there was at least a half a dozen shooters. At least a half a dozen shooters. The chatter just gets louder and louder and louder. The FBI is doing everything it can to put a kibosh on it. Lombardo's totally AWOL on this. It's ridiculous, but this is just another power play by the deep state to poison the jury pool here in Las Vegas for the trials that are coming up with the Bundys and the leftover patriots that were involved in the Bundy Ranch, and also for gun control. All right, gun control is huge. They want desperately for us to get rid of our firearms. They know they can only push the envelope so far with all of this garbage that they're doing, and it's pretty damn close as it is now. I think the American militia freedom fighters across this nation are very, very close to standing up. I know that some of these laws that they keep trying to pass, and sometimes do pass, like in the state of California, is, when they, in Oregon, with Kate Brown, confiscation of firearms, Washington's up in there also. When they start to do that, you're going to see, once the American militia freedom fighters starts to go into action across this country, you're not going to stop it. You will not stop it, because here's what will happen. You'll have law enforcement, they're just going to do their job, the blue coats, along with the Fed coats. They're going to just ratchet it up, create more pressure, and then the militias are going to fight back even harder. And I know who's going to win that. There's no way, there's absolutely no way that the law enforcement officers, whether federal or state, whether BLM, FBI, or just your local police are going to win. They're not going to win. And that brings up another subject. And you guys be quiet. All morning, not a peep out of them until I start to do one of my videos. Anyhow, where was I? Okay, November 4th, Tifa. Okay, they're supposed to be coming out all over the country. I believe this is a George Soros funded operation. I believe the players in this is Antifa, ISIS, and to a certain degree, Black Lives Matter. I believe it could turn into a real issue real fast. It just depends how well it has been planned and how far they decide to go on this. Their biggest weakness for really fulfilling their plans for a complete government takeover is the fact that the people that they're dealing with, they're going to have their in-biz, their agent provocateurs who are going to try to get these people, when they're mostly young people, you know, early 20s type people, to take up arms and to have a government overthrow. There's some real problems with that. And the biggest problem, I don't care how many agent provocateurs they have, they are dealing with snowflakes, okay? They're dealing with snowflakes. And once a lot of them start to fall, they're going to be in trouble. However, I believe they can really make a huge dent in any local law enforcement. Local law enforcement, they are not prepared for that sort of thing. They just aren't, okay? And for the most part, I see local law enforcement, the vast majority of them, just bullies anyhow. And they will back down. They'll back down. And they're sitting ducks. They're sitting ducks for an operation like that. So what I want everybody out there, you know, American Militia Freedom Fighters, whatever, and all militias, 3%ers, protect your neighborhood, protect your home. Just protect your neighborhood. Be prepared to protect your neighborhood. All right, they come into your local neighborhoods, unload on them. Unload on them. Okay, and let the law enforcement deal with them in the streets. And then after law enforcement backs down, you're going to have the National Guard that will come in. The problem with the National Guard is they're going to come in with martial law. But I don't think that it's wise for the militias to engage them because what will happen there is you're going to get treated the same way as these terrorists are, Antifa. That's what happened in Charlottesville, basically. You're going to get treated just the same because local law enforcement, that's the way they are. You got a gun? Oh, you got a gun. Okay, well, drop your gun and we're going to shoot you also. It doesn't matter who you are at that time. They're not going to let you, you know, you can run and say, I'm on your side, I'm on your side. It's not going to work, you know. So let them, you know, let those brain dead people, and I really do call them brain dead because, you know, they follow unlawful orders all the time for a paycheck. Let them deal with them. Let them deal with them. Once they get their asses kicked, which will happen, all right, then they'll, you know, then the world will see exactly who these people are, that they're not the big brave people that are coming out to protect you. They just aren't. They're there for one reason, for their revenue agents and to follow unlawful orders, which are under the color of law, and they could care less about the Constitution of the United States or the oath that they have taken. So they will go and they will get their asses beat in the streets, all right? And then after that, you know, then we'll have to wait and decide what we're going to do as militias with these people. I think we will have to engage them if the National Guard does not engage them, I believe the National Guard will come out. The National Guard is going to be a whole lot different than your local law enforcement. I think the National Guard takes their oath a little bit more serious, and you know, we might be able to develop a rapport with them, especially in certain cities and towns. I know in southern Utah you will be able to develop a rapport with the National Guard, but that's not where Antifa is going to be. Antifa is going to be in places like Los Angeles, Chicago, Las Vegas, New York City, places like that. That's where they're going to be. So hopefully we will be able to get a dialogue going with the National Guard, and we'll be able to form a unit to rout these people once and for all. This subversion, people that subvert our Constitution of the United States, on all levels, by the way, on all levels. So yeah, this is getting really interesting. I think Monday's going to be an interesting day. All right? Okay, I think I covered everything. Got a little bit off track there. God bless everybody. Let's hold tight. Let's hold tough. You know, this is our country. You know, this is our country. We believe in the Constitution of the United States. We will enforce it. Thank you.